Alright, loads of you asked, so here it is. What I want in the next Smash.
And by loads of people, you mean like 2. Really, you're just cashing in on a week's-old trend. It's an easy way to make an easy video with little to no effort and have it get tons of views.
Are you kidding? Dealing with you is loads of effort. Plus, it's fun to just talk about this. And it's not my fault I'm late to the discussion. I was in the hospital all week. Plus, you said it yourself. You would love to see the skull from F-Zero make it in as a character. Honestly, I think that's a pretty lame character to add in.
You. And I don't mean as a whole standalone character. I'm not daft. I just mean as a skin, a model for Captain Falcon. If anything, that's the #1 thing I want to see in a new Smash. More model swaps. Look what they did with Bowser Jr. and the Koopalings. I want more of that. Even if they are characters from completely different games, just slap the model on a skeleton and boom! Another character, more representation. And you don't have to deal with additional balancing and whatnot. It's just like the Smash modding community doing model swaps, but it's official. So it's actually good.
Oh yeah, that does sound pretty awesome. I'd love that.
You see, I'm pretty genius when it comes to these kind of things.
Yeah, you should join Smash Amino. It's the premier mobile Smash community filled with loads of discussion boards, news, community artwork, and more. You can join the conversation with 24/7 chat functionality, as well as blogs, polls, and quizzes. Everybody loves discussing what they want in the new Smash Bros. And with this whole app dedicated to it, you can easily avoid irrelevant Sony pony conversations. Here, it's all about the big N. Nintendo fans tend to be dedicated, so what better place to share your thoughts, hopes, awesome fan art, and Nintendo love than a place filled with like-minded individuals? Because that's not all. Smash Amino is just one Nintendo fan community, but there are Amino communities for every Nintendo franchise there is. Mario, Pokemon, Fire Emblem, and of course, Super Smash Bros. So, for an awesome discussion board all about Smash, there's no better place than Smash Amino. And a huge thanks to them for supporting this channel by sponsoring this video. Alright, so seriously now, what do I want to see in the new Smash Bros?
And what could you possibly add that hasn't already been stated septillions of times by like-minded basic humans?
Well, more than anything, I'm a huge proponent of the Ridley movement.
Too big.
Not necessarily. People like to point to Prime Series Ridley, which obviously wouldn't work, but OG Ridley is only slightly taller than Samus. Plus, look at this. I'm sure this gets shared around a lot. You could really even just do this, but stylize Ridley a bit more. As in, just shrink the head a tad bit, and especially shorten the neck just a bit. It's a little weird. But then it'd be perfect. Plus, you know what Smash needs more of? Villains. And large characters. And Metroid representation. Here you get all 3 in one!
Too big.
But enough about Ridley. I'm also a fan of the idea of bringing the Ice Climbers back.
You know, almost nobody gave 2 about the Ice Climbers until they were cut.
I mean, losing the Ice Climbers is like losing a member of the family. Plus, they had a unique enough moveset.
So let me guess. You want Wolf, Pichu, and Young Link to come back?
No, you. But plenty of people do.
Oh god. Because we need more clones. But don't get me wrong, the only thing worse than more clones is morons who think clones take up a slot. Though you know, a Pichu and Raichu as fitted models on Pikachu would be fine though.
You know who I see in made-up rosters all the time, but I don't see being talked about that much? Steve from Minecraft.
I assume you have good reasons for this, so I'll reserve my anger in the meantime.
Well, I mean, think about it. Minecraft has already been on plenty of Nintendo systems, and it's one of the most important games in the gaming industry of the last decade. I just posted a big video all about that, which you should totally watch after this one, right here. But yeah, Steve being in Smash would also get tons of more kids interested in a Nintendo property. And the most important thing to me with new characters is how unique the potential moveset would be. And Steve has got quite the potential. I imagine a mixture of Link with the sword and bow and Villager with loads of items and such. A major mechanic could be leaving a block or two in places as minor obstacles. Maybe he could even pick them up and throw them. You could get really creative with Steve, and he is certainly more deserving of a slot than many of the characters people commonly suggest. For example, as much as I would absolutely love Shovel Knight or Shantae getting in Smash Bros, our Steve definitely deserves the spot more.
Fair points. Now it's my turn. I see this character in almost every made-up roster these days, but I'd actually argue heavily against it. And this character is Springman and/or Ribbon Girl from ARMS. I mean, I get it. It's an obvious choice. It's a recent Nintendo IP. But first of all, it didn't do that well, only selling 1 million units, and that's only due to it being a new Nintendo IP on a Switch, which at the time had no games, and the ARMS community quickly died out. But overall, the main reason I don't want these guys in Smash is because of their potential moveset. You know who the least fun character to fight against in Street Fighter is? Dalzim. It frankly would not be fun to fight against these guys on a casual level. It would ruin the game for loads of casual players. It's never fun when a fight is one-sided because of a single character's mechanics. And that seems very likely to happen unless they heavily nerfed them in other ways. Perhaps like both being terrible in the air like Little Mac, but also having a ton of end lag on their attacks. At which point, they wouldn't even be fun to play as.
Well, to counteract your negativity, I'm always down for more mages. I mean, besides Robin, who's more of a spell sword, who is there? Zelda, I guess? But you can get way creative with movesets when magic is involved. I'd be super down for Kamek, or the Black Mage, or Isaac from Golden Sun. Another spell sword, yes, but with earth and plant alchemy. Ooh. I want to see Isaac more than literally anyone else. As for other popular characters I could see getting in, there's always Sylux and King K. Rool.
Well, I'll have you know that I do not want King K. Rool in the game, because that means there will be more porn of him, which is something I do not need to see.
And what do you think about adding Solaire? I mean, he's got an amiibo now.
Not going to happen. Having an amiibo means nothing. We've been over this. And besides, Solaire would work a lot better as an assist trophy. He comes out, does his pose, and leaves. The Goldine of assist trophies. And if they were to ever add a Dark Souls character, it'd likely just be the Ashen one. Probably as a sword and pyromancy user. And before you say it, the likelihood of Doom Guy is next to none. Though admittedly, if they did use him, having his little stock icon get beat up as his percentage rises would be a very nice little touch.
What about a Monster Hunter representative, though? Perhaps either a Palico or a generic Monster Hunter. Preferably with a weapon that would grant them a unique moveset, like a gun lance or a hammer. Because besides Monster Hunter World, Monster Hunter is a very important franchise for Nintendo. And they already have Mega Man, so Capcom's already kind of on board.
True.
But enough about characters. People can talk about that for eons. What are some mechanical changes you'd like to see? I see plenty of people wanting wave dashing to make a comeback.
And the ice caps can't melt fast enough. Here's hoping a superbug is hiding under them. What I do want to see, though, is for Sakurai to not be a pansy. Just give Ganondorf his sword, or swords, dang it! Don't be afraid to drastically change movesets to make them better represent the character. And better yet, diversify them! The more unique each character gets, the better. Too many characters have plain old counters, and that's boring!
I can agree with that.
And let's add Duskull to the Pokeballs!
Yeah, but what would be neato is battle damage. They tried it a little bit in Brawl. There are some unused textures of characters with damage. It'd be cool to add that in. After a character hits 150%, their texture gets tweaked.
Oh, here's something. I see people online wanting a Rhythm Heaven character, but literally who is big enough in that tiny series to be worthy?
Yeah, though I can definitely see a stage. And speaking of stages...
Could we please get the option to turn hazards off now, Sakurai? Nobody likes the Yellow Devil or Ridley bosses. These stages would be super cool without them. You already have the Omega Final Destination versions of every stage. Now just literally remove the bosses and you'll make the game way better. These bosses were one of your worst ideas since Dark Pit, or Tripping, or Melee. And it's infuriating because it's so easy to fix. Just do it!
Yeah, well, one thing I always loved about Smash was its abundance of stages. Having more stages and more options never hurts.
Though I'm sure there's a logical cap on character count.
What that is, though, I really don't know. But as for stages, just keep bringing them back. There were so many fan-favorite stages reserved for the 3DS version of Smash 4, and that made a lot of people sad. So bring those back. And I'd love to see more stages like Hyrule Temple. They tried a bit with Palutena's Temple to make the stage again, but it wasn't the same. I've made tons of custom stages that me and my friends just love to play on because the idea behind them was it's another stage similar to Hyrule Temple. But custom stages tend to be bland in terms of decoration, so having more and more official stages like this would be magnificent. To me, I would say more stages like that is much more important than a boatload of new characters. But maybe that is just me. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts down below. And while you're down there, check out Smash Amino. Share your thoughts there also. It's a way cool place.
I suppose I'll lurk there.
And a big thanks again to them for sponsoring this video. And thank you so much for dropping in on this conversation. Until next time, please remember to never stop using your noggin.